You cannot let a teenager take a decision with zero kind
I
of, I
think
would say.
one of the social platforms does have age restriction even in the US. I think Facebook has a 13-year
Yeah, but they
something like
just
that.
fake up the details and then
But
there's no
but there is
validation that
a
happens.
Yeah.
18 years
so
also,
there is
yeah.
so that is
So that is
there is a spectrum to play in,
that is
right?
like a
Yeah.
wall, but actually a line.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's projected like a wall, but it's actually a line that anybody can
Yeah.
step over. So coming back right, Naveen. So wanted to kind of understand what is the importance of staying current and continuing to innovate while you are becoming a leader.
I think it's very, very important for, for leader to continuously learn and adapt, right? Because if you're not, see, people are, when you say leaders, people are always following them, looking up to them, looking at inspiration and everything, right? And as a leader, you can only do that if you are constantly in touch with what's happening around. But if you're not, then people stop looking, saying that if I go and talk to him or discuss something, it's no more relevant to me, or he's not talking sense to me, and that's when that disengagement starts, right? So as a leader, it's very important for their own survival and also for the organization, right? So as long as the leaders are able to add value, able to live up to the expectation organization, they survive. So I think it's very, very important as leaders also, right? It can be like Anunay said, it's not just 20s, 30s, but even 40, 50. Everyone has a different struggle. The quantum of struggle is changes, right? Or the variety of struggle changes. But I think it's very, very important as a human being, even if the 50, 60, 70 doesn't matter, they have to constantly keep innovating, constantly challenging their limits. I think coming out of the comfort zone is one of the things that I've learned very well in my life. Given a person who used to be an introvert, in my childhood days, but when I knew that if I have to grow in the organization, I have to become extrovert, I have to collaborate with people, I have to be on social media, I have to interact with. So there is times when you have to change because of the certain needs, right? So that's how you adapt, right? That's where you end up learning, constantly understanding about your work domain, your industry area. You network with people, you understand what's happening around. I think that's where you have to stay relevant, and to stay relevant you have to constantly learn. And when you learn, you are able to come up with strategies, you're able to come up with out of the box thinking, right? But if I'm not in doing that, then I'll not really not be able to do it.
Got it. So Karthik, I wanted to kind of understand. So in Vishwakarma, right? So I wanted to. We have a program where in the fourth semester they kind of are given industry electives, and then they work through the entire third year in the Center of Excellence on different industry projects, and then end up doing a 1 year full internship in the fourth year, right? So how does this whole program that we have kind of crafted for the student is helping you to build leaders within Vishwakarma, and what kind of students have you seen evolve into leaders?
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, um leadership can come out in a person from a person if he is given an environment. So all these initiatives which we had was to fulfill that gap basically, because for a long time we always had industry complain that, hey, look, you people, you academicians, you are in your own world, and right, all the studies that keep coming out that the students that come out of colleges are not employable and all that. So we thought, okay, then the best way to ensure that they are is to engage the industry, who has this major complaint. So let's get them on board. So that's why we thought that, okay, let's have industry electives. Today we run almost 20-25 electives. Various companies teach various courses. So what happens is that the exposure widens. So I believe that exposure widening is the critical thing here, which not only makes the student industry ready, but also brings out those qualities which may not come out so easily when you are restricted in your exposure. Just like for example in India, if you see, there are so many engineering colleges, and at one time we talk about unemployment, etc. But again, if you see in urban areas, it's lesser. Urban colleges tend to do well. Why? The only reason is exposure, because the colleges in urban cities, whether it is Pune, Bangalore, or wherever, their exposure tends to be higher. So all these industry initiatives helped us in increasing the exposure of the student. Industry electives, industry project, hackathons, summer internships, extendable to semester, extendable to a full year internship, and that also in different places, not just in one place. So that increases your exposure. You meet different people, you understand different styles of working, And when your exposure increases, we believe that, as they say, education, it's said to be some Greek or Latin, I forgot. It comes from a word educari, which is to bring out the best in you. So you have these traits already inside. Education is supposed to bring it out, right? And that happens with exposure. So that's where we see our industry licensing helping in this particular process.